Morning, everyone. How you doing? Sorry, this is not a live stream. I really like to do live streams for my kind of daily financial update. I like to see the interaction. I like to see people asking questions or making comments, giving me a thumbs up. But unfortunately, I tried 3 times today. It crashed. I don't know why. I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm going direct to AT&T for the service on my phone, but it's not working. So we're going to do this recording and put it out. First and foremost, do me a favor. If you're watching these daily financial updates, hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. We're now on near day 90, so I am committed to giving you a daily financial update each and every day. I read the market. I've been doing it for 20 years, and it's kind of fun. So let me know what you think by hitting that subscribe button. We're going to talk about a couple of earning misses first. First, we'll go with Kohl's. Kohl's is a retailer who came out and missed top and bottom line, lowered yearly expectations. Really, really kind of the classic ugly report. And their stock, at least as the recording of this video, was down over 16%. So, you have market risk, sector risk, and company risk. That was company risk right there. On top of that, you have Home Depot coming out and also lowering year expectations and having a slight miss on top and bottom line. They're down about 2% as of this recording, but if you really break apart their earnings announcements, they were very clear in basically pointing at themselves. They called it internal issues, which is interesting because you got to think that, the market for Home Depot now with real estate, generally being in a positive direction, interest rates being really low, flipping coming back, that they'd be kicking butt right now. So I'm wondering if what Home Depot is suffering is Lowe's winning, right? Because I think the pie for Lowe's and Home Depot is kind of fixed, and Home Depot has been the juggernaut for quite some time. I wonder if Lowe's focus on the contractor and their VIP desk or whatever they call it is starting to dent Home Depot's lead, and thus Lowe's is winning. So I think that's what's happening. They're obviously not going to say that. But I think it's interesting when you talk about internal execution issues. I wonder if it's just your competition kicking your butt. Be interesting. Next up, we go to the trade war. It looks like something that I put out, I think, yesterday and the day before. I was kind of pontificating about what's going to happen to those December 15th tariffs, which I believed were still on the books. As of this morning, read that, yes, I was in fact right, and these are still scheduled to go into effect. I think it's interesting. It's probably a compelling event, meaning that you would think China would, and frankly the U.S. too, would want to maybe get some real positive momentum and maybe schedule a signing either before or slightly after the 15th so that these tariffs never see the light of day. They won't be good for anyone. So the fact that they are still scheduled gives me hope, actually, because I think it will make the two juggernauts negotiate in good faith. They will stop the nonsense of negotiating in the press, which I think has been going on the last 3 or 4 days with he said, she said, I like, don't like, all of that nonsense that we've been suffering through. I do like the fact that the December 15th tariffs are still in effect. Next up, we have Disney Plus. A couple of things, right? We talked about Disney Plus a few times. First off, when it released, it had a technology hiccup the first day, was down for a little bit. Then we talked about them having 10 million subscribers in, I think it was a 24, it might have been a 48-hour window, just explosive growth. And now we see that they've been hacked. Accounts have been hacked. So if you have Disney Plus and you haven't checked, do me a favor, go check. Actually, I have a friend on Facebook that said her account was hacked, and she saw malicious accounts or extra accounts that she didn't recognize. So do yourself a favor. If you have a Disney Plus account, go check it out. See what's going on. See if you were impacted by that. Next up, looks like the Fed or Powell went to the White House. At least that's where I think the meeting happened. Basically, Powell and our president get in a room, and I don't know about you, but I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that meeting. I do believe it was just the two of them, at least based on the article that I read. One party clearly wants lower interest rates. One party's probably like, dude, we're good, relax. So I think that would have been an interesting conversation. Was it civil? Was it name calling? What really happened? I know there's a general impression by the executive branch that we should have lower rates. compete with the rest of the world. Um, I wonder about that. I actually think the strongest economy shouldn't have the lowest rates. We should have a return on invested capital that's not zero and certainly not negative. I think the U.S. having zero or negative interest rates would create all kinds of cascading problems. But that's just my opinion. The executive branch clearly disagrees with me, and that's okay. Next up, I saw an article about international students. They come here on student visas, that being down in the last 3 years. Again, this was an I should have written down the firm, but it was some big long acronym, some agency or something. Estimated that we've lost about $11.8 billion from the drop in international students. That's obviously college tuition, room and board, food, additional things that students buy. But also highlighted that it could have cost upwards of 65,000 jobs. I could definitely see the cost, 11.8 billion. I'm not sure I buy the jobs figure because I think you kind of convolute numbers to get there. But in the end, international students applications are down. You can't argue that fact. Student visas are down. And, there's a general feeling by students on the outside that's like, nope, it's going to be hard, or I want to go somewhere else. So, it's a fact, and whether it's right or wrong is not the question. It's just one of those facts. And then the last thing to talk about is hedge funds. Hedge funds have clearly started to buy the idea that the trade war is almost over. You can look at their portfolios, as someone has, and they've seen a dramatic increase in stocks that would benefit from the trade war being over. From memory only, they were about 2.3% of the portfolio 90 days ago, and now they're up to nearly 4%. So, not a large swing in percentage, but realize it's almost double, right? So, certainly some hedge funds are thinking this trade war thing is almost done, and we are going to see a smoother economy heading into next year. So, I thought that was interesting. Again, kind of summarizing the day, Kohl's big miss, down 16%. Home Depot blames internal execution. The December 15 tariffs are still in play. Disney Plus accounts got hacked. The Fed and the executive branch get in a room and chat. The international students are down, and student visas are down. And then finally, hedge funds are betting that this trade war is almost over. Again, if you're still watching and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and of course, have a great day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.